All right, welcome back. So in this video, we are going to get started with Node, right? And like we've already seen that Node is one of the most broad things in our backend, and like not one of the, it is probably the most broad thing in our backend. So that's what we are going to start with in this video, and what we're basically going to see is what exactly is Node, and second, why do we use Node, right? Because like I've already said a lot of times, we have a lot of languages for the backend, right? And then why are we specifically using Node, right? So why? So those are the things that we're going to see. But before we start, in the last video we had just finished with our command line, right? And I think that a lot of people tend to like ignore the command line when they first learn it because it seems to be a lot of problem for them, right? Because like why would you actually make new folders or see things inside folders or actually move into new folders using the command line or the terminal if you can just simply use your mouse to do those things, right? But actually command line is really important for you and for any web developer. So I'm again stressing on the fact that you need to do it because there can be situations sometimes there where you will not have access to the GUI, like in the servers and all, GUI cannot be used, like, so you will need to use the command line at those points. And at such points, sometimes the concept is so challenging by itself that it is good to have a nice command over the terminal itself, I mean, if you are making a thing which is already really complex, you do not want to divert your attention to what command do you need to write to move inside a folder, right? That should be on your tips, and that's why I'm saying that I'm again and again saying that you should be really comfortable with the command line. If you are not, then like if you have done the exercise that I've given you by yourself, then you will eventually become comfortable when we'll be using the command line a lot now. So you'll eventually become comfortable, but I'm just saying don't ignore it, right? Right. So now let's start with the node. First things first, what is Node, right? What exactly is Node? We've been saying Node for a long time now. What exactly is it, right? So for that, I'll go to the Node.js official site and about in that, right? So there it says as an asynchronous event-driven JavaScript runtime, Node.js is designed to build scalable network applications, right? A really weird line for you to understand. What does that basically mean, right? So you can say that before Node was introduced, JavaScript was basically only capable of doing things in the front end, right? You could not write server-side code with. Server-side code is basically the backend code, right? So you couldn't have wrote any backend code with it, and because there was no functionality to do that. So back JavaScript was restricted to the front end. So to simplify this line for you, Node.js is basically a kind of a language, kind of like it's a runtime. I'll not go into what runtime is, but it's a way to actually write JavaScript in the backend too, right? So this here is an example of like a node, but like you will not understand this of course, but you can see that this is http dot create server. So this could be like an object, and this could be a method inside the object, and this could be a callback, right? So you can see that all the concepts are JavaScript because Node.js is actually JavaScript, right? So what it helps you do is it helps you write things using JavaScript on the backend. That's all you can understand for now. And we are going to see how to write it, and we are going to see why we should use it. So I think that's what matters the most. And what it basically is not that important. All you need to know is that it helps you write JavaScript on the backend, right? Great. So yeah, that was about what is Node. And next, let's see why Node, right? So why do we use Node first of all? And yeah, so one thing that I want you to see in this intro line is scalable, right? And one of the most important features is that Node.js is extremely efficient, right? So first thing, Node.js is efficient. That's our first reason to study Node. Second, it is really popular at the moment, right? Extremely popular. And while we should not just take decisions based on popularity, but it actually is a factor. And why is that? Because the more popular a language is, the bigger its community is, and it's I think established until now that we cannot possibly learn all the things inside Node on our own. So we do need to have a community around us which can help us whenever we need, right? If you're like using a language which nobody uses anymore, then you would Google it and you wouldn't find a solution, and then you'd be stuck on that one place. However, in Node, you can find solution to any problem on Google, right? And it will be really, really simple. The first or second link will mostly give you the solution to your problem if you have done the right search. So that can basically help you a lot, because having a big community, right? And just to see the community thing, I have a thing here. So this is like, ignore this around the Python. This basically is a chart depicting the popularity of languages across time, starting from 2014. This is around when the node was established, right? And you can see JavaScript has been on the top consistently. Below it, there have been a lot of languages going up and down, down, up, blah, blah. But JavaScript has always been on the top without any problem. And that is due to a lot of reasons, basically because of community and it's, scalability. And one more thing is that includes a lot of packages. What packages is can help you do things easily. For now, you can say it like that. So it becomes really friendly for the user, right? Right. So yeah, so that was basically why we would use Node. And one, big community. Second, efficient. And third, packages. Packages are a really important point. We'll see that in the next video, or the next to next. But yeah, that was basically why you would use Node, right? And yeah, this is all about Node. And in the next video, we can start seeing how we can actually use Node, right? Great. So that's it for this video. I'll see you in the next.